All right, Coach. So last time we saw you at the end of the Fall Creek game, what's practice been like since then?
Had a pretty good week of practice. We've been trying to run some scout stuff that Colby runs, trying to get a decent look. And sometimes it's kind of hard to have a sub-varsity team try to run another team's plays. It gets kind of be difficult, but the kids kind of took on the task, and we did the best that we could. They practiced hard. We've been trying to keep them healthy, keep them off each other's legs, and going from there.
Yeah. All right. What do you know about Colby coming up now?
Good tradition. I think they've been in the playoffs for probably the last decade straight. Very well coached, technique-wise. I went and watched them against Cadet, and they got some kids with some decent speed, and they can, get into the open and break it if possible.
When we saw you at Fall Creek post-game, you talked a little bit about depth of the team, players coming out. Aside from that, what's maybe one thing that'll lead to a win tonight?
Aside from the depth, we're just going to have to execute. We can't make little mistakes. We can't jump. We can't, jump off sides. We can't make a missed blocking assignment. We had a couple missed tackles that led to long runs with Fall Creek. It was just little things. Otherwise, I think a game at Fall Creek would have been, even closer. We got to clean that up.
So we're visiting with Nielsville Warrior Lucas Mayer. Lucas, a long time now since Fall Creek. Thoughts against Colby?
We just got to come in and play our game. They're not as strong as they were last year, and we've improved since last year. So we just got to come in and play as a team, play hard, and everyone do their responsibilities, and I think it'll be a good game. We should be able to take them.
What did you learn since last week at Fall Creek?
We just gotta, there's a couple big plays at Fall Creek that beat us, but we just gotta play as a team and everyone know their responsibilities and make the good tackles and block who we're supposed to. And I think
Nielsville Warrior quarterback Braden Trunkold. Braden, just talk about what you know about Colby right now.
They got They got size in the backfield. We're gonna have to stop. They got a couple running backs. They got two middle linebackers. That's what we're really keen on. And if we can get them in the running backs.
After the game at Fall Creek, you've had a few days now to think about that. What did you and the team learn in this last week of practice?
Now we can stick with teams now in our conference. Every game is a winnable game now.
Welcome to the Hillers True Value pregame show. Hillers is your Milwaukee Tool headquarters. Stop at Hillers now and get $100 off your next Milwaukee Tool purchase. No trade-ins needed, and Hillers will not be undersold. Hillers True Value on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. Our game of the week is Colby at Neilsville. Go to ZaleskiSportsShow.com now to see our other games and to go at Stratford and Marshfield at Appleton West. Thank you for watching the Zaleski Sports Show. Welcome to Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, and today's Coach on the Couch is Colby Hornet head football coach, Jim Hagan. Jim, thanks for being here today. We appreciate you stopping by.
Well, thanks for inviting me. Looking forward to the interview.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a good time. This is more of just two guys kind of sitting here talking, more so than an interview, but we'll talk about all kinds of things, but mostly Colby Hornet football. So with that being said, we're looking forward to the season. Live streams of Colby Hornet football and other live streams are available at ZaleskiSportsShow.com, and we look forward to the season starting on August 17th. Before we talk about this year, Coach, we'll talk about 2017 just a little bit. I know we were talking before we went on, 11 straight years in the playoffs. Is that right?
That is correct. 11 straight years we've made it to the playoffs.
That is outstanding. And in 2017, you were back in the playoffs again. Maybe a little bit lower seed than you would have liked, and how that ended up is you ended up playing number 2 seed Amherst, and the Amherst Falcons went on to win another state championship along the way, and you just happened to be that first team. So, Amherst has been impressive for a long time. Or at least the last handful of years anyway. And like I said, they're just a juggernaut. They do things a little bit even unnatural sometimes as far as that's concerned. So it turned out it was a loss. Like I said, Amherst won the state championship, obviously. So what did you learn in that game going up against a team like Amherst?
Well, I think the things that you learn is, number one, they're a very well coached football team, and they got a lot of players out for football, and and I think what we learned, and not that we necessarily can control that, but you can tell that those guys from Amherst get in the weight room, and they got some big kids, and they're strong and they're fast, and that is something that we encourage our players to do, get in the weight room more. Some do, some don't. That's just something that really I need to do a better job of as a head football coach in the off season is making sure that our players are getting in the weight room, even if they are a basketball player or a wrestler, or go out for track and field. There's always time for those kids to get into the weight room, early in the morning, after practice. So, I think if anything, if you want to compete with those teams like in Amherst, your players just need to get bigger and stronger.
You talk about weightlifting. That reminds me of a very short story. Back in my high school football playing days, weightlifting wasn't something that excited me. And most of the guys always wanted to lift weights early in the morning. I am not an early riser. So I had a buddy of mine, Scott Wojcik. He would come and almost drag me out of bed at 5:30 in the morning. So guys, get yourself a workout buddy and let him drag you out of bed, get down to the weight room. That's what had to work for me.
Yeah, and that's how it is for me. I personally work out, and if I'm going to do it, it needs to be done about 5:30, 5:45 in the morning because of my busy schedule, being a football coach and an AD and a principal. So, and that's actually pretty refreshing to get up right away in the morning to do it. You're kind of fresh and ready to go. And in a workout partner, I would agree. I do have a partner that I work out with pretty consistently, and I think that definitely helps. So
yeah. So thinking back to last year, Coach, you won the first 4 games of the season, got off to a great start down the stretch. You were 2-3 coming down the stretch. Was that just a matter of competition that you were facing, or something else that happened towards the end of the season?
No, it was definitely a matter of competition. Like you said, we did start 4-0, and in those first 4 games, we had 3 of them were shutouts. And then we ran into the likes of a Spencer, who was a very good football team, and then the following week we played Regis. Again, they made it to level 4 last year. 1 game away from state. We took them into overtime. Actually, if we were able to kick an extra point, which we struggled with last season. That game doesn't go into overtime and we win, and then we ran into Stanley Boyd, late in the year, and they had another very good football team. So yeah, it was a matter of the better teams that we played later part of the schedule.
All right. Again, you're watching Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski. We're here with Colby Hornet head coach Jim Hagan. So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about 2018 and leading into 2018. What year number is this for you, and then how do you stay motivated as a coach?
Well, this is my 28th year overall of coaching. I started off in 1991 as a 7th grade football coach, and then I worked my way up to freshman coach for 3 years, and then became an assistant coach for Colby. And then in 1998, I took over as defensive coordinator. So again, 28th year in coaching, 2nd year as a head coach, and what really got me into coaching, I don't know, I just always had a love for athletics ever since I was a little kid. I think that started with my father, who loves athletics, and my brother, who's older than I, and it's just something that the Hagans always enjoyed, is athletics, and I loved school when I was a kid, and I love athletics, and it's just, I knew that I had to be in it some way, shape, or form, and I've coached other sports like basketball and track, but football's always been my love, so.
And being in it that long, Coach, obviously you know that senior leadership, especially on a football team, is big. It's very important.
Yes.
Talk about some of the seniors on the team and what their senior leadership is going to bring to the 2018 Hornets.
Yeah, we only have 6 seniors this year, which is a very low number for us. And but so far, those 6 seniors, I'll probably forget somebody: Reese Kellenhofer and Jason Lee, and Matt Coonsey, Logan Hockey, Sawyer Smutchler, and I know I'm probably forgetting one other guy here, but they're a quiet group of kids, and that's kind of worrisome at times. I did have a talk with them at the beginning of the season in the locker room when the other players were going out onto the field, about you got to, be senior leaders. You got to talk at practice. You got to push those younger kids. At times they'll do it, but probably not enough. So that's just something that we got to keep encouraging them to do, is to take that senior leadership, and keep working hard, because if you're not going to work hard, those younger players aren't going to work hard. But so far, we can't fault their effort at all, other than they're a little bit quieter than we want, but they are working very hard.
Yeah, and that's something that you'll work on during the season.
Yes.
Also, other things you'll work on during the season are some of the other kids, juniors or what have you, that are playing with you, who maybe 1 or 2 kids that might start the season at this particular level but got a real chance to be big performers this year.
Yeah, well, I think, when I look at our overall team, I think the player who has the potential to be a really, really good football player is a junior by the name of Tyler Clement. He's about a 6 foot, 195 pound running back and linebacker, and he's the real deal. He's got strength, and he's got speed, and he just has great vision as far as running the football. So, So that's a name that probably people are going to want to keep an eye out for. And we're going to have an untested, unproven quarterback by the name of junior Roman Schmidt. You know, he doesn't have a lot of varsity playing experience, but he has the potential to be a very good football player. He's a smart kid. He's in the weight room. He goes to speed training. He's in the gymnasium all the time playing basketball. He just loves sports. So I guess once he gets a little bit better feel for our offense and gets some confidence, he throws the ball really well. So we're looking for good things out of him. And there's another kid by the name of Harley Schmelzer who's a junior, and he's our wide receiver. Just a natural athlete. Doesn't spend a lot of time in the weight room, but he's always in the gym. If you walk by his house, he's always outside playing basketball. But he has great hands, and if you can throw the ball anywhere near him, he's going to catch it. So looking for exciting things from those three players as far as, students who aren't seniors.
Yeah, okay. Well, good names to watch, and we're going to have, like I said, a few games this year to watch. In particular, Coach, as you start the year, as we look at the schedule, first 2 games are on the road, next 4 are at home. Any strategy there, any advantage with that type of schedule setup?
No, not necessarily. I had an interview last night, and they talked about is there any difference between having a non-conference game or a conference game to start the year? No, we'll prepare the same way. Osceola's a long drive for us, so we'll get that out of the way, and then we go to Neillsville. And then it will be nice to have 4 home games in a row, because last year we had 4 away games in a row, and boy, that just seems like forever getting on a bus. So, looking forward to that 4-game home stretch, no doubt about it.
Coach, you mentioned Neillsville week 2 last year. You beat Neillsville 40-0. That'll be our first Colby game that we will stream live. Again, you can find those games at ZaleskiSportsShow.com. So you play them in week 2, and so we'll be there at the game. Okay. What are the chances of 40-0 again this year?
I'm not really sure about that. Some of it depends on injuries, how the first game goes. And I really don't know much about Neillsville yet. I know they have been down the past few years, but I would like to think that if we play well, that we can beat them. But we certainly don't take anything for granted. That's we tell our players every day at practice we don't take anybody lightly. We'll practice against Neillsville just like we would practice as we prepare for a Spencer. Just again looking forward to this first game against Osseo, and that's going to be really a big game for us. Not only as far as trying to make it to the playoffs, because you got to win 4 games in our conference to make it to the playoffs, but if nothing else, it's just a good morale booster going into the rest of the season. Yeah,
good. Well, Coach, best of luck in 2018. I know we're going to have a lot of fun watching you. Talked about a couple of those games. We'll also see you at home on September 21st, so we look forward to that. And then we'll have highlights intermittently all year long. So, Coach, again, thanks for stopping by, and good luck this year.
All right, thank you, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, guys, this has been Coach on the Couch, and live streams, as I mentioned before, available at ZaleskiSportsShow.com and ZaleskiSports.com. Highlights all year long, fall sports, volleyball, football, what have you, all available at Zaleski Sports Show on Facebook. We'll see you next time. Go to ZaleskiSportsShow.com now to see our other games and to go at Stratford and Marshfield at Appleton West. Thank you for watching the Zaleski Sports Show. All right, sports fans, Jason here with the Zaleski Sports Show. We are live in Mondovi, Wisconsin, as we're getting ready to watch the Mondovi Buffaloes take on from the Merriwood Conference, Edgar Wildcats. Hello to everybody back at home. We made it here safe and sound, and we are good, and we are ready for football tonight. We've got just about 7 minutes left before kickoff. Got a lot of good stuff for you. Hope you enjoyed the pregame show. Again, brought to you by Hiller's True Value. Hiller's is your Milwaukee tool headquarters. Come on in, they'll give you $100 off, no trade-ins necessary, and they will not be undersold. Hiller's True Value, located on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. We've got interviews coming up with Coach Jerry Sands. We're going to get his pregame thoughts, and then I'll be back up in the booth to take you the rest away on the call. It is Edgar Mondovi coming up next. Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chili, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota Powerful, Precise, Proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement. Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Property damage or loss is what Marshfield Insurance Agency is all about. We are the area's largest insurance agency. Family owned for more than 30 years. An independent agency, we represent more than 40 A-rated insurance providers for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. Contact Marshfield Insurance Agency for a free quote today.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on U.S. Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Partners Bank, better together.
Gnats out tonight.
There are. Yeah.
All right, and we are back, guys. Jason here with the Zaleski Sports Show, joined by Edgar head coach, Jerry Sins, coach. Let's just talk a little bit about Mondovi. What do you know about the Buffaloes coming in here?
Well, they're kind of a wide open team. I think they're kind of similar to us. They got pretty good quarterback throw as well, and some good receivers, and we kind of think that's kind of what we do too. So I think it's going to be a fun, exciting game.
What's the one thing that's going to lead to victory tonight?
Well, last week we had too many penalties. I thought we played very well, but we had too many penalties. So I think we got to cut down on our penalties a little bit, and we'll be happy with that.
Coach, good luck. We'll see you post-game.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, there he was. Coach Sins, Edgar Wildcats head coach, and we are just about set for football as we wind down towards 3 minutes left to National Anthem. And again, we got a pretty fun game, we think. Mondovi, we're going to learn a little bit about them as we go. We already know about the Edgar Wildcats. These guys are going to score in bunches. They won last week 30-0, and there's a possibility that happens again tonight. But we'll see. Mondovi's got a football team over there, and they came to play too. And Coach said it right. They got a wide-open style offense. I think we're going to see the ball in the air a lot tonight. We were visiting with Coach a little bit before during warm-ups, and those guys were airing it out here on the Edgar side as well. So we think we got a fun game. We see both teams here getting ready. We got the American flag down in the far end zone. We are just about set for football. Guys, you are watching Zaleski Sports, Wisconsin sports leader, football coming up.
My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford. My first time buying a car, and it was so simple. Thank you, Wheelers.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Partners Bank, better together.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their...
All right, and we are back here in Mondovi again. Edgar, number 1 ranked Edgar Wildcats, Mondovi Buffaloes. And we are just about set here for high school football as we see the school flag and the American flag at the middle of the field. And that's going to mean one thing here real quick. National anthem time here in Mondovi. Great night for football. About 70 degrees outside, a little bit of a breeze. Not much, a little bit of a breeze though to help cool things off. And we're in for a good game here again tonight. Guys, Jason Zaleski on the call with you. Steve Okonek, Kevin Bargander along the way. And they will help us with our broadcast tonight. As again, we take a look at Mondovi and Edgar. We take a look at the Mondovi Buffaloes roster. Fairly good size up and down the roster, about what you'd expect for a school this size. Nothing jumps out the page at me. I don't see any threes at the beginning of the weight chart.
Welcome to Mondovi High School.
Everybody's in triple digits on the weight chart, so that's good too. But we're looking forward to a good game. We've got national anthem right now.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Right, our newfound friend Darren here in Mondovi takes us through today's national anthem and a very nice performance there. And again, we are just about set. We've got 7 o'clock kickoff, and we've got 6:58 and 30 seconds, so we are right on time here tonight as, again, we get ready for high school football on a Thursday night in Wisconsin. The home Mondovi Buffaloes visiting Edgar Wildcats.
The St. Croix Conference, the Mondovi Buffaloes.
The St. Croix Conference, home to the Mondovi Buffaloes. As we are about a 2-hour drive westish of Edgar.
Edgar High School.
Nice landscape out here.
Number 3, Brock Hendrick.
And we'll start with Edgar and their starting lineup. Number 3, Brock Hendrick, tight end.
That's split in. A senior, number 7, Jacob Lipinski.
Jacob Lipinski wears number 7, senior for Edgar.
And running back, a senior, number 8, Ty
Gooden. And a reminder here, Ty Gooden's on the absolutely free On Focus Zaleski Sports Magazine, available in Edgar at Advantage Community Bank and the Senex Provision. Go pick up your copy. Brought a few of them with to the game. If you're watching here, come see me. I'll hook you up. Will Rates and Carson Butt here being called. Carson Butt,
Caleb Haferman,
senior Wildcat.
At tackle, a junior,
Caleb
52,
Haferman
Ethan
wears number
Heil.
21.
At cornerback, a
Number
senior,
52, Ethan Heil.
Tyler Scripshock.
Skylar Skripchak, number 54, senior center for the Wildcats.
Senior number 62, Matthew Hoyt.
Guard, 62, Matthew Hoyt. 6 foot, 220 pound
At tackle,
senior.
Number 73, Ryan McKibben.
Number 73, Ryan McKibben, also senior, comes in at 6'2", 240.
And at guard, a junior, number 75, Zach
And number 75
Schutte.
rounds out the offensive line and tonight's Edgar Wildcat lineup. Zach Schutte,
Mr. Jerry Sims.
6'1", junior at 230. That offensive line is something else for the Edgar Wildcats.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet your starting defense. For your Mondovi
Starting defense
Buffalo.
for the Mondovi Buffaloes will be as follows.
At safety, junior number 2, Carter Johnson.
Number 2, Carter Johnson, safety.
At cornerback,
Number 4, Cade Brenner.
Brenner.
Brenner's a corner, 5'7", 150 pound.
At free safety,
Corner.
sophomore,
Number
number 9,
9 is Tanner Marsh, sophomore, 5'10", 170.
cornerback, junior number 10,
Brandon Wagner, junior, corner, defensive back, 5'11", comes in at 160.
Senior defensive end, number 23,
Caden Todd, big-time defensive end here for the Buffaloes. We'll watch him during tonight's broadcast. He wears number 23. Number 34, Jace Meyer.
At safety, junior number 47.
Number 47 is Nolan Seipel. Another junior, a lot of juniors for these Mondovi Buffaloes out here.
Senior number 56.
A program to grow on for sure. We'll see what tonight's outcome brings them, though. Cordell Olson wears number 56. One of the few seniors on this starting lineup today. Rafe Bauer wears number 58.
Junior number 62, Justin
And the defensive
Rickle.
line, Justin Rickle, another junior.
And at D-tackle, junior
6 foot, 225 pound junior.
Head coach of the Mondovi Buffaloes, Mr. Craig Loscheider.
And Nathan Pelkey,
Mr. Mark Helgeson.
another junior. One senior starting for the Mondovi Buffaloes on defense tonight. Otherwise, they are a junior-dominated defensive unit. And we'll see what they do against the experienced and ultra-talented Edgar Wildcats. Big test here for the Buffaloes. Of course, we talked to Coach Sins again in a pregame show, and we talked to him during pregame warm-ups. He's a little concerned about the athletic ability of the Mondovi Buffaloes. He thinks they've got some speed to the outside, and he's warned his team about that. Shut down the outside, force them back inside, and that's what we're going to take a look for here early in this game as we are just about set for kickoff here, and the Edgar Wildcats will send out the kick return team, and they will get the ball first here in Mondovi. Buffaloes send the kick unit out there. And deep for the Edgar Wildcats, Mason Stout and Caleb Hofferman. Number 20 and 21, and late arrival here, Carson Butt. He's going to step back in the backfield too. All of them lined up about the 15-yard line, ready to receive tonight's opening kick.
Number 11, Carson Butt. Number 20 is Mason Stout, and number 21, Caleb Haferman.
Got the entire 15-yard line contained. Nothing's going to get past him there. Kick is off, and we are underway. A short kick picked up at the 25-yard line by Stout, and Stout is going to go the distance, opening kick, and it's a kick return touchdown for the Edgar Wildcats. Mason Stout, and we have 11 seconds eclipsed off the clock, and it's an Edgar Wildcat touchdown. Mason Stout on the kick return, and again, it took just 11 seconds for the Wildcats to strike first here in Mondovi. It's a short kick, bounced around the 30-yard line, dribbled back a bit. Stout picked it up and sprinted his way to the end zone for 6. Edgar Wildcat offense is on the field. They're going to line up for a 2-point conversion. We'll take a look down there with you as Carson Butt under center takes the snap. Hands off, up the middle, and it is in.
Will Rates up the middle.
Will Rates take the handoff right up the middle. And Edgar
takes the
pouring
lead.
it on early,
And
8-0. Here's the score in Mondovi, and man, oh man. Well, we'll get to see the Edgar Wildcat defense a little sooner than we may have thought. There was definitely some displeased looks down here on the Buffalo sideline. I saw one clipboard go flying, and a couple other things might have flew out of some of the mouths of the coaches of the Mondovi Buffaloes. Glad we're up here in the press box and not on the Mondovi sideline, that's for sure. So as it is, 8-0 Edgar. And they will send their kick team now, which is essentially a lot of the same members as the kick return team. Led by kicker number 74, Austin Miller. Saw Miller out in pregame warm-ups. He was booting easily 30 and 35-yard field goals. We'll see what he does here on the kickoff as he turns to his kick unit, gives them the game plan, and paces off his steps and lines up for the kickoff. So, presumably, Mondovi now will get the ball for the first time today as the kick is up and away. Taken at the 4-yard line, and a reverse called right away. We're going to have a holding, though, or a block in the back. My apologies. Carter Johnson ends up with the ball after Marsh hands off to him in that kick return backfield. But the flag on the play, for what I saw, will likely negate that and set them back 10 yards further. We'll wait for the call here. And it is holding on the Wildcats. I saw a block in the back. They're going to call holding on the Wildcats, so rather than starting on the 9.
All right, we got holding against the Buffaloes on the
Okay, that's what I thought. He pointed, Whitehat pointed the wrong way. It's a holding,
possession of the game,
which probably should have been called a block in the back. At any rate, they will start 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. Quarterback number 7, Brent Christofferson. Looks left, looks right, calls out the signal. And a pitch out to the right and brought down immediately is number 9, Tanner Marsh.
Buffaloes run the option to Tanner Marsh. Taken down by number 8, Ty Gooden.
Ty Gooden in on the stop.
Pick up about 1.5 yards. We're going to say
Marsh with a 1-yard pickup on the play. Christofferson again in the shotgun formation as Coach Sins told us they will spread the field wide, and he was right. No reason to doubt Coach Sins, though. Handoff up the middle. Tanner Marsh, he's brought down after a short gain on 2nd down. Let's see where they mark him here. They're going to mark him around the 13-yard line. 3-yard gain for Marsh. Going to bring up 3rd and 6 for the Buffaloes.
Ball spotted at the 12-yard line. Pick up a 2 is going to bring up 3rd and 7.
Wildcats are bunched up on defense. Looking to stop anything short over the middle and whistle as this play will not count. It looks like it may have been illegal procedure.
Play, and your official is signaling a false start against the Buffaloes.
Yeah, it's a false start on Mondovi, so they're going to get backed up 5 more yards. It'll be 3rd and 11 here with 10:34 to go in the first quarter.
Backing them up 5. It's going to be a 3rd and 12 now for the Buffaloes.
As we see number 18, Drew Gooden, roaming back in that safety spot here. We'll keep an eye on him on 3rd and long as he will likely tell us what kind of pressure the Wildcats going to put on as he moves over and Butt takes the strong safety spot. Roll out by Christofferson to his left, fires that way and going to sail that ball out of bounds. Pass intended for number 23, Caden Todd, and that'll bring up 4th down for the Buffaloes.
Bringing up 4th and long now for the Buffaloes, deep in their own territory.
And the Buffaloes do send out the punt team.
Substitutions would assume we got a punt coming up.
Number 2, Carter Johnson.
Carter Johnson is
back
deep in
to
the end zone.
Send the ball away for the Buffaloes.
Carson Butt and Caleb Haferman.
Butt and Haferman back to return the punt. Keep an eye on that defensive line here as a punt block scenario could be in the works here, but we've got a whistle and a timeout, Buffalo. So we will take a quick timeout with them and be right back. It's 4th and long here in Mondovi.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today. All right, back here on Mondovi as the Buffaloes are set to punt to Edgar here, 4th and long from their own 7-yard line. Again, Butt and Haferman back for the Wildcats to receive. And this is a time where Coach Sins could call for a punt block, does not. Calls for a return. That ball is hit high in the air. Haferman signals fair catch at the 29-yard line, and you couldn't ask for more for the Edgar Wildcats than the start of this game, as stout kick return for a touchdown to start the game, and their first offensive possession is going to start at the Buffalo 29. Again, putting pressure on Mondovi early are the Wildcats, as they do from time to time. No doubt about that. Coach Sins is going to test you. He's going to make you bend, and then he's later going to make you break. Okay, we'll take a look at the Edgar offense for the first time tonight. Carson Butt stands as back at quarterback. Haferman and Rates in at running back. And the carry goes to Haferman. He's up the middle. Big gain on first down for Caleb Haferman. He's going to have a 9-yard gain on first down. And the Wildcat offense, big chunk on their first offensive play of the game. So not quite a 9-yard gain. They spotted it and then moved it back. 7-yard gain for Haferman on first down. 2nd and 3. Butt takes a snap. Fake handoff, drops back to pass, and out to the left, just out of the reach of Will Rates, and incomplete to bring up 3rd down. Nicely designed play there by the Wildcats, as Rates leaked out to his left, had some running room in front of him, but the pass just out of his outstretched arms and falls incomplete. 3rd and a long 2 here. We'll call it 3rd and 3. 9:36 left to go, or early stages here in the first quarter in Mondovi. Butt sets his offense down, pitches out to Haferman. Haferman to the right, gets one block, and gets swarmed at there. It's going to be close to first down yardage, and we'll see as our white hat steps in what he decides. But Haferman on the carry and a few more yards, and it's actually going to bring up 4th down. We're going to give him 2.5 yards. It's going to be 4th and short.
And
they are on the 20, just inside the 20 at the 19-yard line, and Edgar keeps their offense on the field. They'll go for it here, 4th and short. Big first test for the Mondovi defense. And we got a whistle here. We'll slow things down a little bit as they looked at Haferman to make sure he had his chin strap on. He's all strapped up and ready to go, and so are we. Handoff goes to Haferman up the middle. Makes one man miss, steps to the outside, headed for the end zone, and he will be in the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown, Edgar. Caleb Haferman on a 19-yard sprint to the left, and Edgar scores again. Edgar started on the 28-yard line, and 28 yards later, all at the hands of Caleb Haferman, and it's a touchdown, Edgar. And the extra point team now will come on. Went for 2 on the first touchdown. Now they'll spice it up a little bit and kick the extra point as Miller lines it up and sends it up and through. The extra point is good.
Number 74, Austin Miller, is good.
And it's 15-0 Edgar. 8:42 left in the first quarter. Well, I don't know what else to say here. Just about what we thought might happen here in Mondovi. 2 very quick scores. The kick return, unexcusable. You got to play better special teams than that if you're the Mondovi Buffaloes. And then a special team incident again on the punt. The punt went about 18 yards down the field, gave the Wildcats the ball at the 28-yard line. 3 runs later, and it's an Edgar Wildcat touchdown. And as our stadium music plays, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you want to mess with the Edgar Wildcats. We'll see what the Buffaloes are able to do here as they will start offensive possession number 2 of the game. First one was a 3-and-out, filled with a couple blunders and ended with a punt that was left a lot to be desired. We'll see what they do here in their second time with the ball as again Austin Miller steps into the football and sends it. And another reverse here by the Buffaloes. Tanner Marsh up the sideline, and he will finally be run out of bounds at about the 24-yard line.
Buffaloes run the reverse again on the return. That time it was Carter Johnson to Tanner Marsh off the left side.
Officially mark it here.
21, Caleb Haferman.
Just inside the 25, so they'll start this drive at the 24-yard line.
First and 10.
A little bit better starting field position than that first drive. That one started back at the 9. So again, Christofferson in the shotgun formation calls for the ball. Fake handoff, pass out here. Nice screen set up, and it is quickly snuffed out as Carter Johnson with the catch. Ty Gooden on the tackle. Gooden saw that one happening the whole way.
Running out there to make the tackle, number 8, Ty Gooden of the Wildcats. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 upcoming for the Buffaloes. Nice job there by Gooden. Saw that coming the whole way, knifed right through the field and hit Johnson just after he caught it. Christofferson again, looks left, looks right. And we're going to have, we got movement up front, and it looks like it's going to be encroachment on the Edgar Wildcats as Christofferson barked loud on the first cadence and
signal is against the Wildcats.
Got Edgar to jump.
Buffalo's going to pick up 5 free ones here.
Looks like movement up front. A couple guys.
Offsides against the Wildcats is a call. Push the
We're
ball
moving
up
up.
the 30-yard line. Bringing up 2nd and 5 now for the Buffaloes.
Buffalo's moving in the right direction with the penalty. 2nd and 5 now after the incompletion on first down. Behind Christofferson is Marsh. And the handoff goes to Marsh up the middle, and he is brought down right away by number 62, Matt Hoyt. Ran right into the waiting arms of Matt Hoyt.
And he ran right into the arms of number 62, Matthew Hoyt of the Wildcats.
I think there's an echo in here somewhere. We'll find it.
Loss of a yard back to the 29-yard line. Brings up 3rd and 6 now for the Buffaloes.
Loss of a yard on the play. 3rd down. And we've got 64 here. Nathan Pelkey coming off the field with a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up as his, looks like his left ankle not quite the same as his right ankle. Sub set in for Pelkey, and we're back underway here. Under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Christofferson back to pass. And he's under pressure, sprints out to his left, heaves the ball into double coverage down the sideline. Ball's thrown out of bounds anyway.
Pressure gets it away on the far side. Intended for number 2, Carter Johnson. He had double coverage out there.
Both Carson Butt and Mason Stout in on the coverage there.
Coverage out there. That's going to bring up 4th and 6 for the Buffaloes, again in their own territory.
So 2 3-and-outs to start for the Buffaloes. And the second time now the punt team will start hop out on the field as Carter Johnson back again to set the ball skyward. Butt and Haferman back to receive. The kick's away. Low end-over-end kick that spins and doesn't quite get to the 50. Looks like it goes out of bounds at the 47-yard line. And for the second time in a row, Edgar will start in Buffalo territory here in the first quarter.
Well, once again, the Wildcats are going to start in Buffalo territory, just north of that midfield line at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10.
Doesn't he have words of his own?
Yours are better.
You can just plug me in then. All right, and 49-yard line is going to be the official start point here. Had a 28-yard drive, and their first offensive possession. Offensive possession number 2 here is underway as wide open, running down the field. Wide open is Drew Gooden, and that ball was thrown short instead to Brock Handrick. Pass incomplete.
Was number 3, Brock Handrick, but the pass goes incomplete.
He had Drew Gooden streaking down the sidelines, wide open.
Here in this first quarter, and we're going to 2nd and 10.
By the time Butt turned around and spun, he saw Handrick instead, fired over to Handrick and incomplete. Would have went for 6 if he would have been able to connect with Gooden. As it is, 2nd and 10. Handoff up the middle. Goes to Rates, and Will Rates over to the 36-yard line. 13-yard carry for Rates on 2nd down. Brings up a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
But not before Rates picks up another Wildcat 1st down, this time down to the Buffalo 36-yard line, 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 now from the 36. Butt takes a look over the defense, likes what he sees, calls for the snap. Play action pass sent to the end zone. And a stab at it by Mason Stout off his left hand and out of bounds. Pass incomplete as the Wildcats went to the air for the 3rd time today. That pass incomplete right at the goal line.
Pass incomplete.
Carson Butt starts out the game here 0 for 3 passing. No indictment on him, just haven't been able to connect yet with his receivers, but no worries as the running game has been there and in plenty. Is another handoff up the middle. Caleb Haferman again loses helmet on the play. He sprints forward for a gain of 7. And it's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Wildcats.
Pick up 6 yards on that play, brings up 3rd down and 4 for the Wildcats.
5:45 left to go here in the first quarter. Edgar 15, Mondovi nothing. 2nd, 3rd down of the game for the Wildcats, and reverse a counter action here, and that's number 23, Kyle Brewster, and Brewster's going to send it to the end zone and touchdown, Wildcats. Again, Edgar making it look easy here in Mondovi. A 29-yard touchdown for Brewster, and it's 21-0 Edgar. Nice counter play there called by the Edgar coaching staff, as Mondovi defense was all flooded to this near side of the field. By the time Brewster turned the corner, he had nothing but green grass in front of him, and another Edgar Wildcat touchdown.
Miller on for the extra point attempt.
Austin Miller in again, and he will attempt his 2nd extra point of the night. Snap, hold is down, the kick is up, and it's good.
And it is good.
22-0 Edgar. 5:31 to go in the first quarter. $49-yard drive, and again 49 more yards on the ground for the Wildcats. 77 yards rushing in the first quarter for Edgar.
We have 5 minutes left here.
And by the way, still 5.5 minutes to go. Don't ask me what the record is, I have no idea. What we do know is it's 22-0 here. Edgar out again to a big start as they started early on a kick return touchdown. Kick return touchdown by Mason Stout. And then back-to-back rushing touchdowns for the Wildcats, and that's where we are now, 22-0. Good crowd on hand. Looks like a lot of folks came here from the Edgar area. See a lot of green and gold on the other side. Lots of blue on this side.
All right,
Thursday night football.
Away for the Wildcats. Tanner Marsh and Tommy Barr back there this time to return for the Buffaloes.
And we are set for kickoff number 3 for Austin Miller. Puts his toe into that one, kicks it deep. That's going to go over the head of the returner and into the end zone for a touchback.
Miller's kick sails over the head.
And a big round of applause from the Edgar faithful for number 74, Austin Miller. Tell you what, Edgar Wildcats, they know football. And the Edgar fans, I mean, they know a good kickoff when they've seen one, and they saw one there. Big time boot, 60 yards in the air, that kickoff went into the end zone. Mondovi will start from their own 20-yard line. 2 3-and-outs for for Mondovi, and that's the extent of their offense so far tonight. Just a few yards gained for the Buffaloes so far. Christofferson again, shotgun formation. Calls for it. Handoff to option there, and Christofferson actually keeps it. Keeper by Brennan Christofferson. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like a gain of 2 on the play for Christofferson. 2nd and 8. Buffaloes. Near the 5-minute mark here in the first quarter. Sun begins to set on a mostly cloudy night here in western Wisconsin. Stadium lights are on and needed right now, as we are at 7:26 in the evening. Christofferson hands off to number 2, Carter Johnson. He'll have a couple. In on the tackle is Ty Gooden and Drew Gooden. 3 yards there on the carry for Johnson. And that'll bring up another 3rd down for the Buffaloes. 3rd and 5 upcoming. Buffalo's unable to convert a 3rd down so far. They are 0 for 2 on 3rd down. And a little swing pass out to the left to Johnson, and that is going nowhere as number 9, Will Rates, stops him, and he will actually lose yards on the pass.
And a little help from number 9, Will Rates, and there was nowhere to go.
And that'll bring up another 4th down for the Buffaloes, their 3rd punt of the evening upcoming.
24-yard line. That'll bring up 4th and 6 now for
Lost
the
2 on the play.
Carter Johnson once again in punting formation.
So 4th and 6. Carter Johnson drops back to punt for the Buffaloes.
And Caleb Haferman.
Haferman and Butt deep for the Wildcats again. Punt number 3 is sent on its way. Best punt of the night thus far. And that ball is fielded at the 43. And Carson Butt steps out of bounds at about the 46-yard line, a 3-yard return for Butt.
So this will be the first time of the ball game where the Wildcats starting the possession on their part of the ball field, south of the goal line, midfield line. From the 46-yard line, Edgar Wildcats 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 now from Edgar at the 46-yard line. As Edgar starts offensive drive number 3. And we see number 6, Jacob Mueller there, split wide to our near side on the bottom of the screen. Butt under center, takes it, rolls out, option, and that's a forward pass. I believe that was a forward pass. And I don't know, they're going to call that an actual lateral. I don't know. That could have been a forward pass, but as it is, loss of 3 to Will Rates. It's an unfortunate moment on the Rates stat line. No fault of his as that ball hit the ground in front of him, but he gets the credit with a negative 3-yard rush on the play. So 2nd and 13 now for Edgar. Mason Stout out wide here to the bottom of the screen.
Butt goes back, and number 20, Mason Stout, wide open down the sideline and just out of his reach as he was streaking up the field for what looked to be a walk-in touchdown. And just about a half a step too far was the butt pass, and it's incomplete.
Third down now for the Wildcats.
And the Buffalo fans here in front of us, eerily relieved. It's oddly relieved, maybe is the best way to put it here, as they were expecting another Wildcat touchdown, and their relief mixed with frustration on the whole thing. But as is 3rd and 13 here, 3rd and long for Edgar on their third offensive set of the game. Still in the first quarter here in Mondovi. Handoff to Ty Gooden. Gooden up the middle over the 50, and he'll be dragged down at the 48-yard line. And that'll bring up 4th down for the third time today for the Wildcats. Gain of 7 on the play.
But that's going to bring 4th and 5 now for the Wildcats.
But 4th and 5 will bring out the punt formation, the punt team for the Wildcats for the first time today.
Mason Stout turning into punting formation for the Wildcats.
Stout doing the punting duties right now for the Wildcats. And we take a look downfield at Carter Johnson and Tanner Marsh. And the punt is away. Johnson with it. Takes the ball on about the 15-yard line, races up ahead to the 20, 5-yard punt return. And Mondovi will start again from their own 20-yard line.
Officials put the ball right at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 Buffalo.
So back-to-back possessions start at the 20-yard line for the Buffaloes with 2:16 left in the first quarter. Take another look here at the Edgar defense. Keep an eye on their defensive line here and see if they're able to chase Mondovi out of these running sets. And a play-action pass rolls out to his right, and pass incomplete as Butt hammered Cade Brenner on the throw over the middle, and there is a flag. It looked like a holding is going to be called on Mondovi here. And we'll see what the call is.
Calling hold on the Buffalo.
Yep, and it is indeed a hold. That's what we saw as the rush was getting to Christofferson before he unleashed that pass. He was held, or the Edgar defender was held, and that'll be 1st and 20 from the 10-yard line. Again, nice play coming over the middle as Carson Butt laying wood out there. Broke up the pass anyway. Or was that Rates? Was that 11? Yeah, Carson Butt
down in 21.
Doing his work on defense. Christofferson calls once, calls twice. Handoff made here to the right-hand side, and nothing going on over there for Tanner Marsh, as a couple of Wildcats in on the play, including number 8, Ty Gooden. Loss of 1 on the play for Marsh.
Loss of a yard on the play now, 2nd and 22.
Again, Ty Gooden with the stop. That reminds me, take a look at the On Focus Zaleski Sports magazine. You'll see Ty Gooden featured in the Edgar section. That magazine is free in Edgar at Advantage Community Bank and Cenex Provision. Go pick up your free copy right after the game. The bank won't be open, but the gas station will be. Go head down there and pick up the magazine. Roll out here to the left. Completed pass to number 47, Nolan Siebel.
Taken down on the far side by number 8, Ty Gooden.
Looks like that'll be a gain of 10 on the pass completion to Seipel, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10
the 21-yard line now, bringing up 3rd down
for the Buffaloes.
3rd down and 9 for the Buffaloes.
The woes Christofferson has had, he's 2 for 3 passing in the game. And Coach Sins, again, in our pregame show, if you saw it, he warned us. He said that the Buffaloes are going to spread out and they're going to throw the ball around a little bit, and he was right. As we wind towards 30 seconds here in the first quarter. 3rd and 10. And a whistle here will stop the play before it starts. And we're going to get a timeout, Edgar. So we will take a quick timeout with him and be right back for the 3rd and 10 here in Mondovi. V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and Central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today. All right, Edgar with the timeout, as they're just finishing things up on the sidelines there. Coaching staff didn't like what they saw coming out of the 3rd and 10 setup for the Buffaloes, so they called timeout to regroup. And again, Mondovi, it's their 4th possession of the game. All of them ended in punts. None of them have resulted in a first down for the Buffaloes. All right, we are back now and ready. Christofferson has his marching orders. And again, looks right, looks left, puts one guy in motion, settles him down, takes a snap, looks right, looks back to the left, screen pass set up over there, and that will also go nowhere as number 8, Ty Gooden on the stop, and that'll bring up 4th down for Mondovi.
By number 8, Ty Gooden again of the Wildcats. But a loss on that play back time, down to the 19. Loss of 2 on that play is going to bring up 4th and 11 now for the Buffalo.
I'll tell you what, good thing we put Ty Gooden in the magazine this year. That was a pretty good idea by somebody. Not sure exactly who made the final call on that, but I do know that our good friend here, Kevin Bargander, did a great job on the write-up to fill up that magazine and bring us all kinds of good stats.
And ladies and gentlemen, that brings along the end of the first quarter.
And the end of the first quarter has arrived. It's Edgar 22, Mondovi 0. Start of the second quarter is coming up.
My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership, and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford. My first time buying a car, and it was so simple. Thank you, Wheelers.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on U.S. Highway 10, nasonvilledairy.com.
All right, back here in Edgar as we are set for second half football.
Action. Start of the second quarter here. Buffalo's
Edgar again leads Mondovi 22-0 as we head towards sundown here in Mondovi. Punt team on now for the Buffaloes for the 4th time. All 4 3 and outs for Mondovi as that ball is sent over here towards Butt, out of bounds. Probably marked that about the 43-yard line as that landed just about right in front of us. And the Edgar Wildcats will again start in Buffalo territory to start the second quarter. And indeed, they're going to mark this down at the 43-yard line.
Putting it down at the Buffalo 43-yard line. First and 10 Wildcats.
4th drive of the night for the Wildcats. Going to start here. They did end up punting once. Scored on their first 2. Punt came on the 3rd possession. Possession number 4 begins right now. And Carson Butt rolls out to his left all the way to the sideline. He's going to turn the corner, and he's got room on the sideline, and he'll have about a 12-yard gain, does Carson Butt on first down.
Chased out of bounds by Cordell Olson and Brandon Wagner on the far side. It looks like he got
see what they give him here. It's a first down for sure. We're going to give him 12 yards on the carry. The first carry of the night for Carson Butt is a big one, big chunk with 12 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. First chant of the evening from the Buffalo student section. Not much to cheer about down there. That ball handoff up the middle, and a big run by Will Rates and a fumble at the end of the play. The ball is still on the ground. The ball is still loose, I think, under that pile. Rates has it. I think Edgar is going to keep the possession. That ball could have been picked up by 2 Buffaloes. And instead, at the end, it's number 8. That guy again, Ty Gooden, jumping on the ball and saving the possession for the Wildcats.
And after a scramble, number 8, Ty Gooden of the Wildcats fall on it, so they will retain
So
possession.
Rates with an 11-yard run on the carry. And the fumble, ball bounced 2 yards back, and then on the bouncing ball situation and the fumble recovery, actually able to keep his forward gain, and the ball now spotted at the Buffalo 21-yard line to be 1st and 10 from there as Butt hands off up the middle again, and Haferman out with a run that's going to come close to first down yardage, going to come up just short. It'll bring up 2nd and 3 on the 7-yard run by Haferman.
15-yard line for a pickup of 6 yards on first down, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Ball spotted on the 15-yard line. 10:45 to go before halftime. Number 1 ranked Edgar Wildcats, 22. Mondovi yet to score. And Drew Gooden lines up wide to the right. He's just off camera on the bottom of the screen as Butt drops back to pass, sends one to the end zone. He's got a guy open and dropped. Brock Handrick dropped 6 in the corner of the end zone. And another incomplete pass. 0 for 5 as Butt. That's really the most interesting stat here of the night as his Wildcats are up 22-0. He's had a couple dropped. Just one of those interesting quirks of the game so far. He's 0 for 5, and the Wildcats yet still in full control of this one. That one, another drop pass through the hands of Brock Handrick.
Time out for an equipment issue on the field. So we're ready to go.
All right, 3rd and 3 here from the 15-yard line for the Wildcats. Butt now back, shotgun formation. Actually, he's back out of quarterback. He gets the handoff instead. He races to the end zone for a touchdown, 15-yard touchdown for Carson Butt, and the Wildcats score again.
The substitute quarterback that time, Caden Higgins, and he turns around and hands it off to Carson Butt, who was at quarterback. Finds a gap off the left side for the Wildcat touchdown.
57-yard drive, and just like that, the Wildcats back in the end zone with just about a 4.5-minute possession for the Wildcats.
Austin Miller in an extra point attempt out of the hole.
Austin Miller, get to call his name again. On for an extra point attempt, and we've got movement by the Buffaloes on the far side of the field. That'll inch the ball closer towards the end zone and see if Coach Sins reconsiders the extra point and instead goes for 2, and nothing going there as the penalty was declined, and the extra point attempt will happen anyway, whether you like it or not. As the referees get the Buffaloes lined up again, we're set now. Play clock is in motion. Snap. Hold is down. The kick is up, and it's good. Another good kick by Austin Miller. And another extra point, and another 7 points on the scoreboard for the Wildcats as they now lead 29-0 here in Mondovi. Going to have to break out my abacus, I think, for rushing yards here. But we'll get it together here. How about 180 yards rushing for the Edgar Wildcats through 17 minutes, essentially, of football here. And a kick return for a touchdown. A 70-yard kick return to start the game, and it's been Wildcats the whole way Again, Wildcats coming off a 30-0 win just this past Friday and have almost matched that point total in the early stages of the second quarter. So, as quickly as Mondovi punted the ball, they're going to get the ball sent back to them. And they'll have their first full possession here of the second quarter. As the ball is sent away, another nice kick there. That'll be fielded down at the 3-yard line. Carter Johnson up, puts his head down, and gets back to the 21-yard line, but a flag comes into the play. And it looks like another mistake here by the Buffaloes on a special team situation.
And we got some dirty laundry again.
Block in the back is the call, and the Buffaloes will be sent backwards. So more special teams issues here for the Buffaloes tonight. Number of penalties coming on special teams and putting their offense in a hole multiple times here to start these possessions. Not the way you want to play any game, and not the way you want to play a game against the Edgar Wildcats. So they're figuring out where the initial spot was and going to mark off things from there. It looked like Johnson got a little further than where they spotted him on the kick return, but they didn't even put him that far. So they're going to start from about the 8-yard line to the Buffaloes. So from the 8 we go. Quick pass out here to the outside. That pass attempted for Cade Brenner.
Incomplete.
Just a little too quick as Brenner wasn't quite out of his break yet.
20 Mason Stout, the closest guy in the vicinity.
It's passing routes you usually see at some of the more elite college programs, the timing type pass where the ball is thrown before the receiver even starts his break. And that was the case here. Brenner not quite ready for it, though. Not maybe at that level yet. Christofferson back here, 2nd and 10. Pitches out to the right. Hand off there, and a couple Wildcats come flying in, including number 18, Drew Gooden.
Buffaloes run the option over there to Tanner Marsh.
Tanner Marsh again on the carry.
Will Rates of the Wildcats.
Marsh with a gain of 1 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Buffaloes.
Pick up a yard there is going to bring up 3rd and 9.
Marsh with 5 carries, 3 yards so far. Christofferson again looks around, calls for it, and jumping are the Wildcats. That time it was R.J. Knetter leaving early from his defensive tackle spot, and he's going to leave now to the sidelines as the coaching staff's going to have a talk with R.J. Learning opportunities, even in a 29-0 game, still things to learn. So the ball is placed 5 yards forward of that, so 3rd and 4 now. A little bit more manageable perhaps for the Buffaloes. They are unsuccessful on 3rd down to this point, though, today. 0 for 4 on 3rd down is Mondovi.
Ball spotted at the 15-yard line. I got to bring up 3rd and 4 for the Buffaloes.
Whistle blown there is Ty Gooden sent off the field. Looks like he's got trouble with his helmet. He'll go get that repaired. Play clock started. Snap. Christofferson under pressure early. Number 55, Adam Hannerman, in on the stop early, caused that pressure and caused Braden Baumgartner to join him as Christofferson lurched forward, and both the Wildcats brought him down on the sack. A loss of 7, maybe even a loss of 8 on the play, and another punt upcoming for the Buffaloes.
Again with Butt and Haferman back deep.
So the 5th punt so far. We're at 8:47 and counting here in Mondovi. As the punt here is sent on a line drive right down to Haferman. Haferman around the corner, steps out of bounds, and Edgar will start deep in Buffalo territory again in the game. This will be easily their best starting position of the game.
At the 31-yard line, or runs around the far side before he's chased out of bounds by number 58, Ray Bauer.
Edgar had started their first drive on the 28-yard line. This one will start on the 15. Mondovi fans in front of us perhaps taking wagers on how many plays before the Wildcats score on this drive. I'm not saying I see money, but I smell money. All right, first down, 1st and 10 from the 15. In motion and with the ball here is Kyle Brewster. Brewster set in motion and kind of grabbed around the neck, but maybe from the front. They're going to let that go. That's a run, 6-yard run by Brewster. Brewster with 35 yards rushing today, part of the 186 yards by the Wildcats here in the first half. And again, we have this fun formation here with actually Caden Higgins in at quarterback, and he's going to hand off to number 9, Will Rates. Rates races up the middle. He is down just shy of the goal line on the 1-yard line.
Will Rates on the ball here.
An 8-yard run by Rates.
Some tacklers, dives towards the goal line. Stopped just short there, covered up by number 56, Cordell Olson.
18 yards rushing for Rates on the day. And
the 1-yard line.
Play number 3 upcoming. So if you had the under 4 here on the drive for the Wildcats, you might be a winner here in Mondovi. We'll see what they do on the 4th play of the drive. Again, Higgins under center. Got a trio of Wildcats behind him to choose from. And he chooses Will Rates, and Rates is in for the touchdown. It's another Edgar Wildcat touchdown. Buffalo fans adjusting in their seats here. Not much else. 4 of the 5 Wildcat possessions in the first half have gone for touchdowns. 35-0. $195 yards rushing now in the first half for the Wildcats. The extra points up and through. That brings us to even 36 points for the Wildcats. And a smattering of applause from the Edgar sidelines. And not a whole lot of other noise here in Mondovi. And suppose that's to be expected as the home team down 36-0. Again, make sure to check out highlights of this game later on tonight. You can check those out at ZaleskiSportsShow.com or on Facebook, Zaleski Sports Show. And then all I have you here, we've got a trio of games tomorrow night. Friday Night Football in Wisconsin brings us Anago at Stratford, Marshfield at Appleton West, and our Zaleski Sports Game of the Week. The Colby Hornets travel to the Neillsville Warriors, take on what could be an upstart Warrior team. We'll see. We took a look at them last week over in Fall Creek. They had moments. Colby comes in 1-0. And we'll take a look at Clover Belt football early here in the season with the Hornets and Warriors going at it. Stopped over in Neillsville on the way over. Took a conversation with Warrior head coach Scott Bryant. Also talked to Lucas Mayer and Braden Trunkle, receiver-quarterback combo for the Warriors, and they feel good. They feel well-rested and practiced up nice. They're all set to go tomorrow against the Hornets. Nice return here underway, and bring the ball up to the 30-yard line does Tanner Marsh. And the best starting position for the Buffaloes so far today.
Buffaloes have their best field position of the night so far, starting 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
See what the Buffaloes are able to do with it, though. It's one thing to say it's their best starting position on the night. It's another thing to say get a first down. They haven't done that yet. It's been punt city here for the Buffaloes. 5 punts so far tonight. 5 3-and-outs for the Buffaloes, and a product really of that Edgar Wildcat defense. Handoff up the middle here. And that is Carter Johnson. He'll have a short gain. Short gain for Johnson. We'll give him 4 yards on the carry. 7 yards now total for Johnson. He leads the way with 7 yards for the Buffaloes. So 2nd and 6 now. Christofferson keeps on the option, and he gets swallowed up back there by the Wildcat defense, and including number 8, Ty Gooden.
From the Wildcats, number 8, Ty Gooden, and wraps him up around the ankles.
They're going to give him no gain on the carry.
A yard, 3rd and 7 coming up.
So 3rd and 6 now for the Buffaloes, and a temporary whistle there by our umpire. He backpedals out of the way. Another 3rd down here for the Buffaloes. Another handoff, this one to Carter Johnson, and he's met by a couple Wildcats after a gain of 2. And that's going to bring up 4th and 4 for the Buffaloes.
Out to the 35-yard line, bringing up 4th and 5 for the Buffaloes.
And doesn't look like a punt formation that we've seen here from Buffaloes, and it looks like they may even keep their offense out there. They're across the 35 to the 36-yard line, down 36-0, 5:55 left in the first half, and they're going to go for it. And I suppose, why not at this point? So here's the 4th and 5. Handoff up the middle, and nothing going on there. Again, dropped right away by Ty Gooden. Gooden's been flying to the ball all game long and did it again. No gain by Johnson, and a turnover on downs. First possession of the game for the Buffaloes. They didn't punt. Instead, it's a turnover on downs. Either way, Edgar football.
38-yard line, 1st and 10 Wildcats.
So the Wildcats will start now from the Buffalo 37-yard line. Butt back in at quarterback. Keeps, then finally does pitch.
Mason Stout forced out of bounds by
We're going to give Stout a 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 2nd and 5, Edgar.
Ball spotted at the 33-yard line to pick up a 5 yards. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Clock stopped here for reasons unknown. We do get a whistle now from the White Hat. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout, Edgar. So we'll take a quick timeout with him. Come up back here with 5:34 left before halftime. Edgar 36, Mondovi 0.
Property damage or loss is what Marshfield Insurance Agency is all about. We are the area's largest insurance agency. Family owned for more than 30 years. An independent agency, we represent more than 40 A-rated insurance providers for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. Contact Marshfield Insurance Agency for a free quote today.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Partners Bank, better together.
And we're back here at Mondovi. 5:34 to go before halftime. 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats. But sends one in motion. Keeps, races out here to the right. Finally does pitch over here. Haferman with a spin. 2 spin cycles. And he's across the 25 down to the 24-yard line. Nice piece of running there by Caleb Haferman.
Evading Buffalo tacklers before Rafe Bauer finally chases him down. Haferman gets the ball down to the about 24-yard line.
Nice 8-yard pickup there for Haferman. Big chunks again by the Wildcats. Tough to do anything with that. It's just good execution here by Edgar. Coach Sin said in our pregame chat, that's what he wanted. Just good execution. Just go out there, guys. Run the plays like I drew them up. Do it right, and good things will happen, and good things are happening here. Gooden with the carry up the middle. He'll have just a couple as the Buffaloes converged on the middle of the field right into Ty Gooden's path. Gain of 2.5, call it 3 on the play.
On the carry for the Wildcats. A herd of buffaloes on the stop. Can't pick them out.
2nd and 7 upcoming for Edgar. His butt will go under center for this snap. Haferman and Rates behind him. Handoff goes to Haferman. He's up the middle. Ooh, and dragged down. He was maybe one step away from a touchdown as Carter Johnson grabbed him by the ankle, but not before a 9-yard run by Haferman.
And the officials are going
It's
to
going
move
to
the
be
chains. First and 10.
first down,
Wildcats.
1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Edgar already up 36-0. And we'll wind the clock here with 4:15 to go before halftime. Edgar looking for another touchdown here as they head to the half. The handoff up the middle there. Racing through the middle of the defense is Will Rates, and he's going to have the ball down to the 2-yard line.
And gets near the goal line before he's taken
12
down by
yards
Marshall.
on the carry by Rates. And
Down to
1st and
the
goal,
2-yard line, I
Edgar.
believe. Yep, it's going to be 1st and goal, Wildcats, from the Buffalo 2.
Ball spotted on the 2-yard line. And again, Edgar looking to, we would think, put this game out of reach here if it's not already. It's a handoff here to Haferman. Haferman runs his way up the middle, and it's another Edgar Wildcat touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown by Caleb Haferman, and the Wildcats break 40 here before halftime. That Wildcat line, again, we mentioned them during the starting lineups. They're beefy, and they're pushing Buffaloes out of the way and leading the way for over 200 yards on the ground for the Wildcats. No completed passes for Edgar in this first half, and no reason to with over 200 yards rushing, as the Wildcats are buffaloing the Buffaloes. Chuckle, chuckle. Believe it or not, I didn't even save that one. That one just came to me right now. Miller on again for the extra point attempt. The snap is back. The hold was high. The snap was high. Hold got down and through. And Miller converts again. 43-0 Edgar. And the flag was a late flag on the play there. Not exactly sure what the flag is all about, as both teams were headed to the sideline. And the whistle came. The Buffalo defense looks like they're leaving the field, but the Wildcat offense is staying. We'll see what the call is. Looks like early indications are false start on the Wildcats. See what we get figured out here is the Buffalo defense was about 5 feet from running back to the sideline. Now they're back on the field. See if they let Miller kick the ball from 5 yards further, and they will. So rather than a 17-yard variety, we're going to get a 25-yard variety. And this time Miller sends it again, and Miller's a good kicker out there. If you haven't heard Austin Miller at kicker, he can kick a football. Doing a fine job here for the Wildcats as the score now finally goes. Edgar 43, Mondovi 0. And football intelligence would tell you we're going to be able to call some different names in the second half. I don't think we'll have many of these Wildcat starters back on the field when we start action here after halftime. We'll see, but I doubt it. Wildcats pulled all the starters at halftime last week, so I don't know why it would be any different here, as Mondovi has been shown what Central Wisconsin football is all about tonight. Tell you, we're fortunate to have the football we have in Central Wisconsin. You think about it, you got the Amherst Falcons, Edgar Wildcats, Stratford Tigers, number of other teams. Abbotsford made a deep run in the playoffs last year. Marshfield back to the playoffs for the first time in a few. Pittsville has an exciting brand of football going on this year. We'll see what they do. They were in the playoffs last year. Auburndale won a playoff game last year. Spencer won one, and they look to be back, as we thought, boy, what are you going to do without Hunter Lubke up in Spencer? Well, what you're going to do is hand it off to a trio of Rockets, and they're going to run all over the field. That's what you're going to do, and that's what they did last week as they beat those Tigers 27-7. Mentioned the Colby Hornets. We think they've got a season that's on the up and up this year. Playoff team from last year. As the reverse here has got the Wildcats a little bit out of shape.
Buffalo's run the reverse again.
They've run that a few times here in the first half, trying to get a spark, trying to make anything happen to see if they don't go to the locker room with a 0 hanging on the scoreboard.
Looks like at about the 35-yard line.
They'll start from their own 35-yard line. Now officially their best starting position of the first half. See if I can get that in before the echo comes over me. Looks like I'm in the clear on that one. All right. All right, 1st and 10 from the 35. 3:31 to go before halftime. Christofferson drops back to pass. Under pressure. Got nowhere to go, and he's going to be hammered.
Christofferson evading rushers, but nowhere to go.
See as they unpile things there, and it looks like number 44, Braden Baumgartner, with the leading edge of that attack for the Wildcats.
Brian Baumgartner all in on that stop for the Wildcats.
Loss of a couple for Christofferson. Christofferson now with 3 carries, no yards. And number 9, Tanner Marsh, 5 carries, 3 yards. Number 2, Carter Johnson, 9 yards. That's the Buffalo offense today. Christofferson now takes it, pivot over, nice little jump there. That was pretty fancy as number 9, Tanner Marsh, hurdled one Wildcat. He's across the 40 to the 41-yard line, a pickup of 7 on the play for Marsh, and it brings up a 3rd down for the Buffaloes.
42-yard line, actually. Bring a 3rd and 3 for
2:15 and rolling on our first half clock here in Mondovi, and it's another 3rd down. Mondovi is 0 for on 3rd down here in the game. See if they're able to convert their first one here as the handoff up the middle to Marsh, and he will be brought down about a yard short. Gain of 2 on the play. Gain of 2 for Marsh, and it's going to bring up 4th and 1 from the 45-yard line. There, maybe take a look at it, and there you go. 1st down, Mondovi. Their first down, and a round of applause from the Buffalo faithful here. And honestly, their first thing to cheer about today. So 1st and 10 now. Mondovi moves the markers for the first time today. And they're still, though, their own territory at the 45 with 1:50 and counting. Handoff up the middle. Marsh, and he's got room again. And something has changed here with that Buffalo offensive line as they've been creating holes now for their running game. A 6-yard run by Marsh on 1st down brings up 2nd and 4. Handrick and Rates on the tackle. And Buffalo's now in Edgar Wildcat territory. Second and 5 from the 49. One Buffalo in motion. Christofferson stops him. Hands off, coming this way is Marsh. Marsh around the corner, and he is dragged down by number 9, Will Rates, and Rates is hurt on the field. Rates grabbed him, and his right leg was dragging behind him as he brought down the runner, who was Tanner Marsh. And it is actually Ty Gooden who's down right now for the Wildcats. So we're going to take a quick timeout while they figure out Ty Gooden. We'll be back. Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chili, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement. V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today.
Property damage or loss is what Marshfield Insurance Agency is all about. We are the area's largest insurance agency. Family owned for more than 30 years. An independent agency, we represent more than 40 A-rated insurance providers for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. Contact Marshfield Insurance Agency for a free quote today.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
From the Wildcat 45.
All right, back here in Mondovi as we see Ty Gooden walk off the field here under his own power. Good news there for Ty Gooden and the rest of his Wildcat teammates. It was a first down on the run by Tanner Marsh, so 1st and 10 now from the 45 with less than 50 seconds to go. Handoff up the middle again to Marsh. Marsh breaks outside, down the sideline, lowers his shoulder into Carson Butt, taken out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Nice run there by Marsh.
6-yard line, a pick up of 9 yards on that carry.
Nice 9-yard carry by Marsh. Brings up 2nd and short with 43 seconds before half. They will wind the clock. Well, they did call them out of bounds. Okay. So 2nd and 1 now, 43 seconds to go before halftime. Christofferson lines back to pass, sends one over the middle, and that ball is tipped and incomplete on the coverage. Number 20, Mason Stout. Nice job there by Stout to get track the ball in the air, get his hands on it, and ensure that a Buffalo would not catch the ball. 38 seconds left now before half. 3rd and 1. So we've got that situation out here. The Buffalo still need to get a first down here. They'll probably need to get one before time expires. Christofferson, the handoff to Marsh. Marsh up the middle. He'll have the first down and more.
Marsh up the middle for the Buffaloes. That'll be a first down.
So nice job there. Again, the Buffaloes have found some running room up the middle here late in the second quarter. Gain of 6 on the play. 1st and 10 now from the 29-yard line.
Chains are moving.
33 seconds now. And we are counting now. The clock is wound. Buffalo in motion. Christofferson, again, handoff here. Coming near side towards the sideline is Marsh. Marsh met there by a few Wildcats, and he's brought down and out of bounds with 19 seconds to go.
Swarm of
Wildcats, yes. Okay, the clock does start moving again.
Saying he did not go out of bounds.
His forward progress was stopped in bounds, and with no timeouts. Well, there is one timeout left here. And
Buffaloes have to burn a timeout.
Timeout is called by Mondovi. They let about 8 seconds off the clock there. Should have been calling that a little bit sooner. I think the Buffalo coaches on this side were asking for the spot to be out of bounds. Instead, the officials said that the forward progress was stopped in bounds and forces Mondovi to use the timeout. 19 seconds. So they are going to put time back on the clock here, as one of the Mondovi coaches must have got the officials' attention right away. So that's what I thought. They kind of let 9-10 seconds off the clock there, but granted that time back on the clock. And so we will have a 2nd and 10 upcoming from the 29-yard line for the Buffaloes, as they're looking to make something happen here before halftime. Interesting. We'll see if the Buffalo coaching staff decides maybe to attempt a field goal, a long field goal from here, but you got to be thinking they want something on the board. They want something to talk about at halftime other than 43-0. That's not going to be a long talk. It's going to be, we didn't score. What do we do? We got to go score. Okay, how do we do that? I don't know. That's about how long that talk would last. Because there's got to be a lot of question marks for the Buffaloes as they head into the locker room. One question is, who the heck let these Wildcats in here to play us? That'd be one question to ask. 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Christofferson drops back to pass. That ball swatted away by the arms of Adam Hannerman. Hannerman in on the pressure, knocked that ball straight backwards. And 3rd down upcoming for the Buffaloes.
Pass was knocked down by number 55, Adam Hannerman of the Wildcats. Stopping the clock, 16.7.
Nobody leaving their seats here, though, in front of us, as the Mondovi crowd's going to wait to get their popcorn. They're going to see if the Buffaloes can put something on the board here. They're at the 29-yard line, 16 seconds before halftime. 3rd and 10. Christofferson with the pass. He loads up, and that ball is in and out of the hands of number 2, Carter Johnson.
Christofferson's pass through the hands of Carter Johnson, incomplete.
Nice pass there by Christofferson. Johnson left his feet. Probably didn't need to. Keep your footing, keep your base solid, get your hands up, catch the ball. As it is, 4th down now, upcoming for Mondovi. And Edgar now with the chance on defense to keep the shutout alive, or at least have their say in it right now. As the 4th and 10 play is underway, that ball is knocked backwards and is an incomplete pass. They say it left the hands of Christofferson. And number 52, Ethan Heil, in on the action there. R.J. Knetter also near the ball at the time it was thrown, and a turnover on downs for the Buffaloes. The 2nd time today they've had a turnover on downs. The rest of their possessions have ended in punt, and it looks like they will go to the half scoreless. We'll see if Edgar wants to run another play here. If I know Coach Sins like I think I do, he's going to call a kneel down, take this one to halftime. Especially after an injury scare just from a couple minutes ago. Could be weighing on the minds of the Edgar coaching staff.
Early on here at halftime.
We'll see what they end up doing here, though. I guess one other option is run a play, see if you can break one. See if you can send it to 50. But they are going to run it. Nope, they will do a kneel down here. Will take us to halftime. But a big half of football here for the Edgar Wildcats as they score in bunches. Kick return for a touchdown to start the game, 11 seconds into the game. And then a whole heap of Wildcat touchdowns after that. Take us to halftime where we are now. Edgar 43, Mondovi nothing. V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and Central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today. Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids. Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated.
bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
Partners Bank, better together.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Partners Bank, better together.
Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chili, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement.
My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford. My first time buying a car, and it was so simple. Thank you, Wheelers.
Property damage or loss is what Marshfield Insurance Agency is all about. We are the area's largest insurance agency. Family owned for more than 30 years. An independent agency, we represent more than 40 A-rated insurance providers for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. Contact Marshfield Insurance Agency for a free quote today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a 50-50 ticket up here in the booth. So if you purchase a 50-50 ticket tonight, you can start digging in your pockets. I'd like to thank everybody who bought tickets tonight in support of the cross-country team. Tonight's lucky winner is going to walk out of here with $137.50. All right, so tonight's ticket winner is 6, 3, 8, 3, 2, 3. 6, 3, 8, 3, 2, 3.
All right, at halftime here in Mondovi, as we're watching the Edgar Wildcats take on the Mondovi Buffaloes, and they're taking them on and taking them almost right out of here at a score of 43 to nothing. Could be 53 for all I know. But a lot of scoring going on here, lots to talk about, and we're going to have a lot to talk about to Coach Jerry Sins postgame. Make sure to stay tuned to the postgame show. We'll talk to Coach Sins. We'll also nominate a Highlight House player. I know everybody looks forward to that. We do too. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. A lot to choose from. We could probably choose 5 guys, but we're going to get it narrowed down to 1, and we've got a whole second half to do that as we kind of pour through some of the stats here, and we'll take a look. Kevin, you've got touchdowns listed anywhere? No? You didn't write down touchdowns? Yeah. Oh, hook a brother up then. So, but too many touchdowns for me to take care of. Good thing we've got Stephen Okonek and Kevin Bargander here with me to help out, because it's been, it's been a pinball machine of scoring out there. The lights have been flashing pretty much all game long. I know we started out with a stout kick return for a touchdown, And we just had a whole lot going after that. Haferman had a touchdown run just shortly after that. Gooden. Yeah, okay. Getting through Kevin's writing here. Your guess is as good as mine with some of that. But anyway, I mean, it's been all Edgar here in the first half. 43-0. Mondovi. A couple first downs, and that last drive, they had accomplished their first down of the first half of the game on that last possession, and then ran off a few. They found some running room up the middle as they were kind of got things going here late into the first half, in the waning moments of the first half. Kyle Brewster with our touchdown after the Haferman. That was our third score of the game. Carson Butt scored later after that. And then, like I said, there's a lot to keep track of here. Will Rates chipped in with a touchdown. I mean, it was Wildcats left, Wildcats right, touchdown here, touchdown there. Another Caleb Haferman touchdown with 3:38 left in the game. And that brings us to where we are now. Edgar 43, Mondovi 0. And we'll take a look again at our total yards here. I got a good guess as to where it is, but we're going to come up with an official total here in just a second. How about 275 rushing yards for the Edgar Wildcats? Wow, that's something. That's a lot. And again, my unique stat of the night, Carson Butt actually 0 for 5 passing, had a couple passes dropped, had a couple just kind of mistimed, but no matter. When you've got coming up on 300 yards rushing, you can afford to be 0 for 5 from the quarterback spot and still have a lot of fun playing football, as the Wildcats, again, are up 43-0, and we've got about 6 minutes left before halftime. Yeah, it wasn't until the 2-minute mark of the second quarter until Mondovi scored their advanced their first down of the game, then ripped off a couple, like I said, but then eventually ended up turning the ball over on downs. Edgar gets the ball back with just a few seconds left on the clock, kneel down, and we're at halftime. Halftime score over in Wisconsin Rapids, as we've got another Thursday night game in the area. It's the Kimberly Papermakers coming off a loss, their first loss in a billion years, and they're taking it to the Red Raiders 35-0 at halftime down in Wisconsin Rapids. We'll be back for second half football right after this. Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chili, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota, powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement.
My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford. My first time buying a car, and it was so simple. Thank you, Wheelers.
Property damage or loss is what Marshfield Insurance Agency is all about. We are the area's largest insurance agency. Family owned for more than 30 years. An independent agency, we represent more than 40 A-rated insurance providers for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. Contact Marshfield Insurance Agency for a free quote today.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Partners Bank, better together.
V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and Central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today. That I've been bothering you about since, what, 2 o'clock today?
Perfectly right there. Awesome.
Once again, we're still looking for the winner of that 50-50 raffle. If you've got ticket number 663-8323, come on up in the booth. We got some cash.
It's a good half to play around with it because everyone's, yeah, no motivation anyway. And I think, like, even if you just kind of like a little bit, it just like drops. You can't tighten that up at all? No, because that affects your ability to pan out left and right. So your best thing to do, yeah, is hold that when you're zooming. Okay. And use that.
So it's a little steady,
Car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive.
Right, we're set for second half football here in Mondovi as the day has turned to night and the temperature is dropping here just a little bit. Made it for a very nice night here for football. I mean, it started out as a nice night, there's no doubt about that, but we are still improving our position here as the temperature falls in here just a little bit. Very, very comfortable for just about any outdoor activity right now. See, most of the folks here in front of us still with t-shirts on, a couple with a long sleeve or a hood on their back, but most folks here still with t-shirts on, enjoying a nice summer night here as we are August 23rd and we are week number 2, technically week 2 here for football, the start of week 2 on a Thursday night. Again, a couple other scores, or one other score we know of from around the area down in Wisconsin Rapids. Kimberly Papermakers 77-1 in their last 78 games. That won just last week down in Fond du Lac, and they came up to Wisconsin Rapids today and leading them 35-0 at halftime. As our second half kickoff goes out of bounds, crawled out of bounds at about the 3-yard line, and that'll be a penalty and improve the Buffalo field position here to start the second half. And we are underway here in half number 2.
All right, penalty will put the ball spotted at the 35-yard line after the Buffaloes will begin. 1st and 10.
So they'll start from the 35-yard line, do the Buffaloes. And Christofferson still under center. Looks like some familiar numbers still on the field here for the Edgar Wildcat defense. We'll take a look there as see if there's any second half changes. So we're going to give these guys a little bit of a break, but looks like all the starting crew back out there for the Wildcats as Tanner Marsh picks up about 3 yards on the first down carry.
Number 62, Matthew Hoyt of the Wildcats. Ball's at the 38-yard line to pick up 3 on that play. Brings 2nd and 7.
Right there, you want to have that edge of that offense right on that screen. And then we don't have to move. We can let the ball come through the frame and the play unfolds. So 2nd and 7 from the 38-yard line. Christofferson with it, drops back to pass, fires quickly over the middle. That ball is caught. And then gang tackle there. Tanner Marsh. Again, Marsh getting most of the touches here today for the Buffaloes and gets that one up to the 44-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and short for the Buffaloes.
Brewster for the Wildcats. Ball out to the 44-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and a long one.
And the carry there is going to be just enough here for the first down as side judge signals first down. Tanner Marsh on the carry again, and Marsh has been picking up steam here as we go back to about the 3-minute mark or so in the second quarter. Marsh has been picking up steam. He's got good momentum here, and he's carried it over into the second half for the Buffaloes. Christofferson again with the pass. That's complete. And quickly in on the stop, Caleb Haferman as Cade Brenner hauls in the pass. And the Buffaloes have things moving here right away in the second half.
2 yards on that play. Brings up 2nd and 8.
So 2nd and 7 here as the handoff again goes to Marsh, dashes back to his left. He's got room out to the left. He's all the way to the outside. Haferman giving chase down the sideline, and he's finally hauled out inside the 10-yard line. Carter Marsh, a big run here as the second half is underway.
That'll be a Buffalo first down. Buffalo's 1st and goal. Looks like the officials are spotting it around the 6-yard line.
So 1st and goal now from the 6-yard line. The Buffaloes have it. And a false start is going to push the Buffaloes back.
Movement on the snap. A little false start against the Buffaloes. It'll back them up 5. First and goal from the 11 now.
So 1st and goal now from the 11 after the 5-yard penalty on the false start. Buffaloes will have a go at it from there. And the ball handoff there by Marsh. Marsh up around the outside and hauled down after a quick gain of 2.
I believe that was number 42. I think that was Carson. Remember, that can shoot through there to make the stop.
And then eyes right there. And then you can see. And then you don't have to lean all the way over here. There you go.
Will Rates might have been in on that play as well. 2nd and goal, Buffalo.
So they're going to say no gain on the play.
No gain on the play. Ball remains at the 11.
7:40 and counting here in the 3rd quarter as it's 2nd and goal now for the Buffaloes. And their biggest opportunity here to score so far in the game. Nice impressive drive here to start the second half for the Buffaloes as Christofferson rolls out. He's harassed in the backfield, able to get the ball away and completed for
Christofferson on the run.
Perhaps no gain, if not a loss on the play, as number 23, Kyle Brewster, on the stop as he met the pass catcher immediately.
15 now for the Buffaloes.
And
another equipment malfunction here.
Looks like number 23, Caden Todd, is going to be looked at here. He may have a little equipment malfunction there. We're going to wind the clock and go from there. Okay, so we line up here. It's now 3rd and goal from the 15, a loss of 4 on the pass play. Buffaloes have been pushed back by their own doing and by the Wildcats. Handoff up the middle here by Marsh. Not going to get the job done. And it's going to be 4th and goal upcoming for Mondovi. And we're going to have what looks to be a timeout. The Buffaloes are going to talk about it. And we're going to go talk to somebody special right now and be right back. Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford.
About it, and what they talked about was kicking a field goal, see if they can get some points on the board and avoid a shutout here in Mondovi as Raith Bauer is lined up for the kick. He's a straight-on kicker. The snap is back, the hold is down, Raith puts his foot into it, and that will be good as it just crosses over the crossbar. And the Buffalo fans go crazy in Mondovi.
Sounded like the Wildcats got a little piece of that, but it was enough and it got through.
Ball was deflected on its way through, but just enough juice put on it by Bauer to send it through, and the Buffaloes are on the board, avoiding the shutout here at home. 43-3 is our score with 6:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. Nice drive by the Buffaloes. They came out of the locker room inspired. That looked like a little bit different team, at least different than what we saw in the first half as they raced right down the field. Big run accounted for most of that. It was a big 30-plus yard run by Tanner Marsh. Marsh, the freshman here from Mondovi, 5'10", 170-pound freshman, doing most of the damage on the ground, and he really got going again as the first half came to an end, he started to hit his stride and carried that over out of the locker room and into the second half here in Mondovi. So, for the first time since we started our broadcast, the Wildcats will come out here for the kick return. Last time they lined up for a kick return, they took it back 70 yards for a touchdown. See what we can do here. It's the same three guys back, but out to the far side. Mason Stout in the middle. He was a touchdown scorer before. Caleb Haferman to the near side. Bauer here will kick things off and sends the ball towards Haferman. Haferman with it at the 18-yard line. And he's going to be hauled down at the 30, and a flag comes in late here. Flag comes in late as Haferman is taken down at the 30-yard line. We'll see if that's a Wildcat infraction, which it almost always is when the flag is thrown from that area of the field, which came straight from the white hat, threw it from the goal line, and actually, helmet-to-helmet call here, and now he's pointing towards Edgar. He did this in the first half. He pointed one way and really meant the other.
All right, initial signal is against the Wildcats on the return.
And it's an Edgar penalty, as they're saying Haferman led with his helmet as he was carrying the ball down the field. So it's a 15-yard penalty, and the Wildcats will start from the 15-yard line.
Back to the Wildcat 15. So that's where Edgar will start their first possession of the second half. 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 from the 15. And indeed, we do have a whole new slew of Wildcats out there. And good luck to me as we get caught up calling all these names and numbers. Just when you think you got things figured out, Coach Sins keeps even me on my toes. There's a handoff here up the middle. And it looks like that might have been Austin Dalkey with the carry. Yep, Dalkey on the carry. Picks up about a yard and a half and bring up 2nd and 9.
Nathan Pelkey in on that stop for the Buffaloes. Dalkey gets about a gain of a yard out to the 16-yard line. 2nd and 9.
Another short carry up the middle. This time was Brewster. Called Brewster's names a couple times in the first half.
Five-yard pickup on that play out to the 21-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
Around the outside as Brewster. Flag comes in late. Another flag on top of the 3 flags on the field. And there is little doubt that this play will not have occurred by the time we are done figuring all this out.
Side of the field. We'll see how the officials sort it out.
And thanks everybody for staying tuned here today, and appreciate your viewership. Make sure to appreciate our sponsors as you see their names across the bottom of the screen. Make sure to give them a call and ask them what they can do for you or what you can do for them. Without these sponsors, we don't have football, we don't have any live sports, and so we thank each and every one of them equally. And we thank you for tuning in to watch tonight this Tri-Media Zaleski Sports presentation of high school football. We're in Mondovi, Wisconsin, watching the Mondovi Buffaloes host the Edgar Wildcats, and the Wildcats not being especially good house guests as they are trouncing the Buffaloes here, 43-3. As we had under 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter, it'll be a punt upcoming for the Wildcats. All offensive subs in now for Edgar.
Looks like we had Nathan Pelkey and Cordell Olson.
Do everything we can here to call the names as we see them.
Pelkey gets the ball out to the 16-yard line, but it's going to be 4th and 9.
One of the great traditions about Edgar Wildcat football is participation, and great participation for a Division VII school. You don't see rosters this size sometimes in a D5 school. And so congratulations again to the Edgar Wildcats on inspiring their youth to get involved in athletics and continue the great tradition of Edgar Wildcat football. That punt could have been blocked, instead not. Marsh lets it go as it bounces across the 40 and out of bounds at the 38-yard line, and that's where the Buffaloes will start their second possession in the second half.
Inside the 40, about the 30, somewhere around that 37-yard line where the Buffaloes will start first and 10.
Yes, for everybody's sake. So running clock situation here, failed to mention that, but as the start of the second half here, 35 points is our rule. 35 points, that's what I thought. It's been a whole year, guys, since we've been broadcasting high school football and keeping all the rules straight, but 35 or more point differential on the scoreboard, and the clock will run for the entire second half. And that's just to help encourage good sportsmanship. Nobody wants to see scores 70, 80, 90 to whatever. As Wildcats are all over this one here as Christofferson dropped back, and he was hauled down.
Around the ankles was number 50, R.J. Knetter.
Yeah, Knetter in on the stop, and I believe Braden Baumgartner also in on the stop. We got a timeout here. Mondovi's are going to check things over. We're going to check things over with our sponsors and be right back.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on U.S. Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
All right, Buffalo fans getting into it here as apparently one of their favorite songs here being played. I don't know, is this Chevelle? Does that sound about right? I don't know, something like that.
I'll get you next time, girl, sorry.
As we had maybe a miscommunication here. We were going to get some third quarter entertainment, but forget it. Entertainment didn't happen. So we'll wait for the clock to roll here. We're at a minute 12, and here we go now as the handoff up the middle again to Marsh. Marsh brought down after just a couple yards after that big sack. Baumgartner and Knetter, the sack on first down, pushed the Buffaloes back into second and long. Now it's going to be 3rd and 17 from the 33-yard line. Nice job here by Edgar defense again, keeping these Buffaloes corralled and fenced in tonight. Christofferson turns, hands off, ball coming near side, and again, Wildcats all over it, and it looks like 65 there for the Edgar Wildcats is Brady Lemmer. Nice job by Lemmer to knife through the offensive line and bring down the running back. So a big 4th down now, and we'll take a look here as the clock is going to run, and we are likely going to get to the 4th quarter before this punt is sent skyward. And it's a race to get it off, and they will not. So we will now go to the 4th quarter as Edgar leads the Mondovi Buffaloes 43-3.
My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership, and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes, and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford. My first time buying a car, and it was so simple. Thank you, Wheelers.
All right, Buffaloes jumping around here in Mondovi. You wouldn't think a buffalo could jump very high. Hooved animal and all, but these Buffaloes are giving it their best shot.
All 5, beginning
Well,
of the fourth quarter.
that's
Here
the
we
end of the
go.
jumping here.
Flag.
So fourth down here and a punt upcoming as we left you at the end of the third quarter. And the punt is on its way. Fair caught there by Carson Butt, and he
Brandon
will
Wagner on the kick there.
haul that in
Fair
around the
catch.
41-42 yard line. So again, make sure to stay tuned to the postgame show. We'll go down and talk to Coach Jerry Sins. And after much thought and deliberation, we will talk to our Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House player of the game, Mason Stout. Stout started the game with a kick return for a touchdown, and the Wildcats didn't look back as they raced out to a 43-0 lead after that. So we'll talk to Coach Sins, we'll talk to Mason Stout, and find out their thoughts on the game and what they're looking forward to as the Wildcats will bring in Tomahawk 8 days from now, and that'll be one of our games next week. So you're watching this game, mark it on your calendar. We will live stream Tomahawk at Edgar on August 31st. Next Edgar game, next Edgar home game. So we look forward to that one. Again, as a reminder, tomorrow, 3 games for you tomorrow. Again, Stratford will host Anago. Marshfield travels to Appleton West. And our Zaleski Sports Show Game of the Week, Colby Hornets at the Neilsville Warriors. It's a Clark County battle, a Clover Belt battle. And we're going to see, we saw the Warriors take on the Fall Creek Crickets last week. Had a fairly good go at it, came up on the short end of the stick. Lost by a couple scores, but we think the Warriors are on the uptick. Colby Hornets are a good football team, and we're expecting a good game out there tomorrow. So all 3 games available. All 3 pregame shows start at 6:40, and all 3 kick off at 7. So find a phone, find a computer, take your spouse's phone for the 3rd game, and watch all 3 at the same time. If you've got Apple TV, Roku, any kind of internet-enabled TV, turn on YouTube. You can find a game, put it on the big screen, and you can switch between those games. Or do what I do, watch one on my phone, one on the computer, one on the TV. Everybody's happy. Everybody sees them all. All 3 games coming up tomorrow. And again, you can find all 3 at either ZaleskiSportsShow.com or ZaleskiSports.com. Click on either of those websites and click the rest of the way through as we're at 9:40 and counting here in Mondovi, and a 4th down upcoming for Edgar.
About the length of 2 footballs.
4th and short. And we've got Edgar Wildcats here getting game action. Non-starters getting game action, always planning for the future, is Coach Sins. And that's exactly what happened last week. And the same thing happened this week as got a scramble out to the left by Connor Wolf. Dashes, turns it back upfield, and good for a 1st down.
That was quarterback number 13 is Connor Wolf with the 1st down for the Mustangs, getting the ball back into Buffalo territory down to the Mondovi 48-yard line, 1st and 10 Mustangs.
Looks like after halftime, not all the Buffaloes came back to their seats, so we're a little more sparsely populated here in front of us. All the Wildcat fans still over there as they look to cheer on their team when the whistle blows. As that ball is pushed across the 47 down to the 46-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8-ish from there.
Higgins, Lance Crawford in on that stop again, and a little help from Seth Runstead.
Caden Higgins on the carry for the Wildcats.
2nd and 8.
Again, appreciate all you staying on to the end of the game. You're going to have a reward for that. You're going to hear from Coach Sins postgame. And again, our Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House player of the game is none other than Mr. Mason Stout. Started the game with a kick return for a touchdown, and it's been all Wildcats since then.
On the stop for the Buffaloes. Dalkey gets the ball just across the 40 to the 39-yard line.
Austin Dalkey on the carry there and brings up 3rd and 2 from the 39-yard line. 7:44 left in the game.
Oh, LAF. Yeah. So a little bit down there.
Again, Connor Wolf settles under center. Sophomore quarterback for the Wildcats. Pushes it on the quarterback keeper, and we'll see if they give him any gain at all. No gain on the play by Wolf. That's going to bring up a 4th down. Actually, he may have lost a yard and a half, did Wolf. And it's going to be 4th and a solid 3.
4th down now. 4th down and about 2 for the Wildcats.
As the Wildcats look to keep possession here. as we are coming up to the 7-minute mark. Number 25, Lucas Mueller here to the near side, split out, and we've got penalty on the play as Wolf able to draw the Buffaloes across the line, and that's going to equal a first down for the Wildcats as the second teamers come in here and make their presence known as they're able to force a mental error for the Mondovi Buffaloes.
Moving the ball down to the 35-yard line, 1st and 10, Wildcats.
Really depends on where the ball is. We want to keep the ball centered and up, down.
So, fresh set of downs for the Wildcats. 6 minutes just about here and counting as a pitch goes wide outside to Dalkey. And Dalkey is brought down after a gain of a couple.
The sweep left that time to Austin Dalkey again. Coming up and filling and making that stop. Number 79, Ben Halverson again. Pick about 2 yards on that play to the 33-yard line. Going to bring up 2nd and 8.
So 2nd and 8 now upcoming for the Wildcats as the play clock is motioned go by our white hat. Wolf strolls up behind his center. Takes a look up and down the line. Puts his offensive line down and takes the snap. Quick snap, a quick handoff up the middle again to Dalkey. Dalkey busts through for about 5 more. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3+ for the Wildcats. Just across the 30-yard line down to the Buffalo 29.
Dalkey gets the ball down to the 29-yard line. We're going to call it 3rd down and 4.
So 3rd and 4 now officially for the Wildcats as they look to keep possession here late into the 4th quarter. Our clock winds down to a conclusion of this game, and the handoff here to Kane Lipinski. Lipinski around the corner, and he's going to be hauled down there. Gain of about 1.5 yards by Lipinski.
Jason Meyer comes up to make the stop for the Buffaloes.
So 4th and 4. Yeah, 4th and 4 from still the 29. No gain on the play. Thought Lipinski might have been able to gain just a little bit. He may have gained 0.5 yard on the play. But as it is, 4th and an even 4 for the Wildcats. 4:20 left before our Zaleski Sports Show post-game show. Hang tight for that. Don't go anywhere yet. We got some fun stuff coming up here in the show. And the 4th down attempt is unsuccessful. The Wildcats turn it over on downs. The clock continues to wind as we are still in our running clock situation here in Mondovi. 43-3 is the count.
All right, up the middle there.
Under 4 minutes to play. Again, highlights of this game coming up later tonight. You can find those highlights on Facebook first at Zaleski Sports Show. And again, Zaleski Sports, Wisconsin's sports leader. We bring you highlights of that. You can also catch highlights over at Zaleski Sports Wisconsin Rapids of the Kimberly Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln game, which is also probably close to finishing up just about now. Highlights of that will be available later tonight. And then again, big day tomorrow, 3 games being live streamed. Stratford Anago, Marshfield Appleton West, and our game of the week, Colby Neilsville. And we'll also have highlights coming to you in what has been one of the most anticipated games of the offseason. It's the Amherst Falcons welcoming in St. Mary's Springs. It's the Division 5 and the Division 6 state champs from 2017. They're going at it in Amherst tomorrow at 7. Highlights available of that game at Zaleski Sports Stevens Point. That's a big game, folks. It's going to be just a big game. 2 of Wisconsin's premier teams, recent heavyweights going at it over in Amherst. It's going to be a fun time over there. Amherst, St. Mary's Springs. Couldn't ask for much more than that. And actually, a quick note there, St. Mary's Springs elevated up to Division 5 this year, so they'll have to compete a level higher. And they'll get accustomed to that as they take on the Amherst Falcons tomorrow night. Again, highlights of that game over at Zaleski Sports Stevens Point. Probably posted late Friday night. If you can stay up till about midnight, you'll see him. Otherwise, first thing Saturday morning, take a look. We'll have a fun time with that one. That pass thrown over the middle, tipped up by Austin Dalkey. Dalkey still making his presence known here in the second half, offense to defense.
Incomplete.
And again, the Wildcats able to, for the second week in a row, send their reserves out for some quality game action. Folks, you cannot underestimate what this type of action gets these players. That experience is invaluable playing in-game. You can practice all you want, but football is unlike any other sport. That practice time and the game time, so different. So different. And you are able to get that experience here at the game level. In the years to come, those players are even better with that experience. It's quite an advantage that the Wildcats have here in these first 2 weeks as that punt lands at the 50, backpedals, and finally brought in there by number 47, Noah Seipel. And the Wildcats probably have time for a play, maybe two, before we end the game here and come to a 43-3 conclusion here in Edgar. Again, stay tuned for the post-game show. Coach Sins and Mason Stout, our Highlight House player of the game. That all comes up here really in just a few minutes as our clock winds now to 40 seconds left to go. All the way to the outside. Flag comes in. That's going to stop the clock as Caden Higgins ran the ball. Actually, they will keep the clock running as the flag is put down, and that will likely be the last play here in Mondovi as the Edgar Wildcats get off to a 2-0 start here in the 2018 season as they take down the Mondovi Buffaloes 43-3. And
all right, good job, boys.
we will check in with our sponsors once again, give me time to head down to the field, gather up our post-game show contestants, and we'll be back. Again, Edgar takes down the Mondovi Buffaloes, Wildcats 43, Buffaloes 3.
My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford. My first time buying a car and it was so simple. Thank you, Wheelers.
Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chili, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement. Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Property damage or loss is what Marshfield Insurance Agency is all about. We are the area's largest insurance agency. Family owned for more than 30 years. An independent agency, we represent more than 40 A-rated insurance providers for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. Contact Marshfield Insurance Agency for a free quote today.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily
along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com. V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today. Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chile, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement. Wait for their signal up there. All right, we are here post-game with Coach Jerry Sins. Coach, kind of unfolded like a lot of us thought it would, but start off the game with a kick return for a touchdown. You don't plan for things like that.
No, you certainly don't, and we didn't have the two-point conversion team ready, but they got out there and managed to execute it. We were pretty fortunate in the first half, other than we couldn't get our passing attack going, which usually we're pretty good at, but obviously it leaves us some things to work on. We were happy with the effort, and guys are hustling good, and we'll have to regroup tomorrow morning, and we got a couple guys dinged up too, and hopefully we get healthy.
You started out the game, like I said, in a hurry there. I got down the field right away. You mentioned the passing game. Didn't have a completed pass tonight. 275 yards rushing, though, in the first half. What else can you tell us about the offensive performance tonight?
Yeah, normally, of course, we're going to pass well. Last week, I think we were 6 out of 10 or whatever. We only threw 10. But, I think we're going to have a pretty good passing attack. I think our quarterback was a little too jacked up tonight. He reminds me of Brett Favre back in the old days, He's so fired up, he's overshooting guys when they're open, but we'll get that squared away.
All right. And now you got an extra day to prepare for Tomahawk next week. Take us through the game plan and what you know about Tomahawk.
Well, Tomahawk is a good size school. They're about 400 kids. They'll be coming down to our place. I don't know. Haven't looked at them at all yet, but I'm sure it'll be fun. I think it's our alumni night or something like that, so we'll have a bunch of guys from other teams back.
All right, good. Coach, we'll see you there. If you could send Mr. Stout over, we'd really appreciate it.
Okay. All right.
Nice job tonight, Coach. All right, guys, there he was. Coach Jerry Sins talking about the team performance tonight. And a great team performance, no doubt about that. The defense kept the shutout going until early stages in the third quarter. Again, these Buffaloes came out like a herd of Buffaloes at the beginning of the second half. They had some momentum those last 3 minutes of the second quarter, and then they were able to keep that momentum. They had got a few first downs. They hadn't had a first down up until the 3-minute mark of the second half, or the second quarter. And then they kept that momentum going, had a couple big runs, and then eventually a near touchdown. Couple miscues then when they got in the goal-to-goal situation, got backed up, eventually did kick a field goal, got themselves on the board 43-3. But again, Wildcats, that defense was on point all night long. Rushing game, again, 275 yards rushing by a whole host of running backs. And again, the game all started with a Mason Stout kick return for a touchdown. And we're going to talk to our Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House player of the game right now, Mason Stout, as Mason heads over here. Right here, Mason. We were looking right up at the camera here. Nice game tonight, by the way. You did a nice job there. So before we get to what turned out to be the first play of the game, which was an 11-second kick return for a touchdown, just talk about the game overall, how you felt now. You start 2-0. Just thoughts on tonight's game.
We had our ups and downs. We have things to work on, but overall I think we did pretty good tonight.
Defensive effort, Mondovi didn't score until the third quarter, and they came out of the locker room kind of like a herd of Buffaloes, really. I mean, they had some good momentum there. Just talk about the defensive performance, only giving up 3 points tonight.
I think it was pretty good. We have a couple places to work on. That long run got sucked in a little bit. But overall, I think we did good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
All right, now let's go back to the start of the game, right? So here we are, week 2. We're Thursday night football. You, a couple of your teammates back there to return the kick. It bounces. You pick it up. What happens next?
Just run to the end zone. All of my blockers, they blocked for me. I had a really good blocks. You just find the hole and run.
All right, good. All right, nice game tonight. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen the show before, but we do the Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House. All right, you may have seen a couple of the guys from last year be in the house, okay? So our camera's right up here. It's the only camera set that's left. I'm going to give you... I'm in the house. Down 3, 2, but you can put your special screen. So, all right, so I'm just going to... Oh, we're going to step in. Okay, here, follow me. They're going to tell us when to stop here. They want to get a real nice close-up of you. Oh, okay, we're good there. Okay, all right, so hang on. I'm going to get out of the way. I'll go 3, 2, 1, just right up there. I'm in the house. Okay? All right. So 3, 2, 1.
I'm in the house!
Nice job. Hey, we'll be at the next... There he is, guys. Mason Stout and the Edgar Wildcats 2-0 on the season, and they have things looking all the right way. Again, we will follow them up to Edgar next week as part of our 4 games, 4 live streams again next week. But before we get there, we've got live streams again that happen tomorrow. Anago at Stratford, Marshfield at Appleton West, and our Zaleski Sports Show Game of the Week, Colby at Neilsville. You can find those schedules tomorrow morning at Zaleski Sports Show on Facebook, and you can go to ZaleskiSportsShow.com and ZaleskiSports.com for quick links to those games. We will see you in Neilsville tomorrow.